The 87's at Talladega, and what a sight. Welcome to Rick James TV. I'm Rick James, bringing you uninterrupted green flag coverage of the ARCS 87 at Talladega Superspeedway on the pole in his first ARCS race. It's his first ARCS race since his sabbatical completed. Gary Evers in the number 6 Goodwrench Chevrolet. Seth Wansing, the KC Masterpiece, to his outside in the number 9 Hooters Machine. Toby Estes to the inside of the number 13 Chevrolet Monte Carlo with Massachusetts. Tom Sears to the outside in the 18 Chevrolet. Josh Garrison rocking the Dale Earnhardt throwback to the outside of what would have been a Jeff Gordon throwback, rocking the 46 here that was run one time. Jeff Gordon later changing his name to 24, but sticking with the same paint scheme. He's cool, and that's what's up. Cody Riggs in the number 3 Goodwrench Chevrolet to the outside of Thomas Andrews in the 27 Kodiak car. Rocking the mellow yellow colors, the number 99 of Al Simkowski with Talladega's very own Ryan Pennell, nearby Hoover, Alabama. John Honeybrink in the Tide Ride. Ty Patterson in a Retro 24 as well. Terry Gabbard in the Skyline Chili, number 4 to the inside of Donald Ray in the Wrangler Chevrolet. Stephen Downton rocking the number 54 PPG scheme. Justin Williams in his Custom 83, and Nick Pressey bringing up the rear in the number 94 Estates Thunderbird. Back to Gary Evers on the inside line. Seth Wansing to his outside, waiting for the signal, waiting to go racing. The 87s are green at Talladega. Let's do it. Already, that's John Honeybrink flipping, rolling in the 10 car. First lap, first caution, and already the carnage at the Talladega Superspeedway. The real KFB 18 says, dude, I have to get iRacing. Obfuscate Moon talking about the new beefy potato flatbread, trying it with spicy ranch or nacho cheese. Amazing combo there. Just had Taco Bell myself, and everybody else in this race ready to go once again. But let's go back and have a look here. Obviously, the 10 car of John Honeybrink in big trouble. Let's go back and take a look, see if we can find out what happened. Already Honeybrink just skinning to the inside. That does us no good. Let's have a look here and see what exactly happened. That's the 3 car of Cody Riggs, who made contact with the 10. The 3 gets into the wall. Ryan Pennell, a bounce off of the 3. There goes the 3, already losing a wheel through the infield. Cody Riggs hopping, kangarooing through. Watch for the 10 of John Honeybrink. Already into the wall. Let's go back one more time and have a look. There's Honeybrink already going for that spill. Let's ride along from the cockpit view just so we can see how this went for the driver of the 10. Not very good for the driver of the number 10, John Honeybrink, coming down pit road ahead of Ryan Pennell in the 12. Toby Estes, now your new leader in that number 13 Wrangler Chevrolet, with Michigan's Terry Freer behind him in second, and then Gary Evers sitting in the 3rd position. So kind of a quick start and the action getting underway quite quickly. Bossy Gio says, talk about a wild ride. Talk about it indeed. boss. Kind of fun that they were able to hang on to it, though. But what a sight, seeing these 87 cars here doing their thing, doing their job. Love seeing these cars come out and just for fun. And that's what all this is about. It's just absolutely lovely to see these cars do their thing. Got to give a big shout out to the folks over at DIY. The good, sorry, not DIY, DI9 Designs. More Than a Cape in the chat says, "Sup, Rick James, TV1. What's going on, Cape? Glad to have you here, buddy." Let's get this going back again. There we go. And we were talking about the good folks over at DI9, the Chase Elliott custom graphic design page on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. DI9 Design posts graphics on all platforms multiple times a week, on top of taking requests on all types of logos, Chase Elliott wallpapers, and iRacing schemes. Follow and DM them for more details. They are not affiliated with Hendrick Motorsports or Chase Elliott. Repeat 1975 says, "Rick James, the man, the myth, and absolutely the legend, and I learned from the very, very best." I'm going to drop the link here for Pete's Twitch. And folks, Repeat 1975, I knew Pete coming up as a broadcaster and nothing more, but this guy is quite the accomplished racer. Been doing his thing in the turn down for what league, being holding his own in some trucks, having a good time out there. So Pete, thanks so much for coming through, showing love. Send my love to your family as well, Mrs. 1975. I hope she's feeling but good. Mama Vols also in the chat. Mama, glad to have you here as well. Send my love out to your family. And if I haven't mentioned you, and if you've just recently joined us, I'm Rick James, bringing you uninterrupted green flag coverage. And I just noticed my entire taskbar was up there for everybody to see. Let's remedy that situation. And now we're looking good. So waiting for the lights to turn off on the pace car. And, well, it looks like they're still on. Let's have a look here. Nope, they're off. So we are going green this time by. Hopefully we get one lap complete here. Already Terry Freer with some little bit of action to the back end of that 46 car. So it's going to be two Chevrolets starting on the front row. Matter of fact, the first 8 positions, all Chevrolets, before you get back to the row 5 Ford lockout of Stephen Downton in the number 54 PPG car. And then Terry Gabbard to his inside in the number 4 Skyline Chili Ford Thunderbird. The new boy, Toby Estes, leading this race, his first ARCS event, and here he is at the front of this one in the number 13 Wrangler Chevy with that very interesting number 46 DuPont Chevrolet to his outside. Terry Freer rocking the colors that Jeff Gordon made famous. Repeat says, "These 87s are fun." Man, I've never called an 87 race before, but for me, this is just... this is the cat's pajamas, man. Look at all these cool paint schemes, these awesome throwback cars as well. The number 77 here of Josh Garrison, I am loving this. I believe this is a Dale Earnhardt throwback as well, that number 77. Very, very early in his career. I think this even came before he ran that orange number 30 Army car. But I could be wrong. We're not here for that. We're here to watch the racing, and we're getting ready to go racing one more time. Estes leading in the 13, waiting for the pace car to peel off. 4 laps will be completed this time by, and they are 2 by 2, 7 rows deep, with Kansas City's Seth Wansing now bringing up the rear in the number 9 Hooters Monte Carlo. The KC Masterpiece lining up behind Nick Pressey. There's Estes now to the inside, waiting for the signal, waiting to turn these cars loose. First restart of the day in the ARCS 87. Green flag is out and we're racing at Talladega. Already one car around. Is that Tyler Patterson in the 24? It is indeed Tyler Patterson in the 24. He's got his car under power, and we're still moving. Estes at the front of this race. Contact out of turn number 2 already. Cars losing at 3, 4 wide down the backstretch. Gabbard in the 4, struggling to keep his car moving. That's one car down to the inside. Sears now to the inside of Gabbard, this for the position. Tom Sears going around in the 18, struggling to keep this race car pointed in the right direction. The Massachusetts driver well off the pace. Terry Freer now to the lead at Talladega. The 46 DuPont Chevrolet to the point. 46, 6, 27 to the inside. Thomas Andrews in the number 27 Kodiak Chevrolet, third in line, now trying to get back into the top 2. You can hear cars scraping off that inside line. Now one car now to the inside. Honeybrink makes it through okay. Ryan Pinnell's safe and sound. That's Cody Riggs in the number 3 Goodwrench Chevrolet. Pancaked that race car on the left and the right-hand side. Still green as Riggs comes to a dignified grind on the outside wall. Thomas Andrews now to the lead in the 27, using that draft. Here comes Freer in the 46. 6 laps now complete at Talladega. Chevrolets all the way down until you get to John Honeybrink in the Tide Ride. Estes, who restarted this race at the front, just ahead of Donald Ray. Both of these Wrangler Chevrolets nose to tail. "17 to the outside, 13 to the inside. We won't confuse those Wranglers as much as we can, but at the front of this race, Terry Freer trying to use the draft to get to the front. Freer on the outside, but nothing doing. Andrews grinding up along the inside line. Gary Evers back from his 6-month sabbatical, now to the inside of Josh Garrison. 2 by 2, 3 rows deep for the lead. 3 wide now for the lead. Look at that. That's Evers on the inside. Freer in the middle. Garrison to the outside. Will they survive? 3 wide for the second position. Contact. There's the 77 into the wall. Hang on to her. Hang on to her. Josh Garrison. You can saw he's getting loose. Scrapes against the turn 2 wall again, but Garrison makes it through. Now down the back straight. Garrison tucks right down to the inside. John Honeybrink in the Tide Ride takes 8th. At the front, Freer now to the outside. He's got Justin Williams helping in that number 83 Flaming Monte Carlo. The 17 of Donald Ray to the outside of his Wrangler teammate Toby Estes on the inside. 2 by 2, 3 rows deep drag race for the lead. 8 laps about to be completed at Dega. There goes Thomas Andrews to the inside. Did he get loose? Did he get help? The Kodiak Chevrolet now down on power up the inside line. He's going to have Seth Wansing just flying around him. Cars now falling off the pace, dropping 1 by 1. Only 9 laps into this race. We're taking a stage break after 25. T. Lockhart says, high horsepower and low downforce makes for an exciting race. What a save indeed, Lockhart. Now Michigan's Terry Freer to the lead, to the inside of Gary Evers. Evers now in the wall. The 17 of Estes goes in the wall, losing body parts off that race car. Cars struggling to maintain their position, stay in a straight line. Still green coming to the line. Donald Ray to the outside of Terry Freer. 9 laps complete, 17, new leader. Freer now to the inside in that DuPont Chevrolet. Ray bouncing off that yellow line. Honeybrink, who was involved in that lap 1 accident, safe and sound in the 3rd position. Chevy Ford, your top 3. Guys going better than 204 miles an hour into the 3rd corner, and there you can see the 17 of Donald Ray slams the wall right into the 9 of Wansing, right into the 54 of Downton. Caution comes out. Here comes Pinnell. Avoid the wreck. Ryan driving through the smoke. The 54 of Downton just missing him. Caution number 2 is out on the racetrack. Only 11 laps into this race. Let's have a look and see exactly what just happened. This is crazy. Let's have a quick look. Oh, the 17's already done for. This is well beyond the accident. Let's have a look here. There's Ray colliding with the 9 of Wansing. So let's back this up, because going into 3, Ray had already lost it. And it looks like he may have just gotten loose. Let's ride along. Was there help from the 24? All by his lonesome. All by his lonesome. Oh, the 17 clips it, and watch this. Boom! Nowhere for the 9 to go. And look at the 99 of Alex Simkowski, just barely surviving that one. Let's go back and ride along with Simkowski, see just how he managed to stay alive in this one. Talk about your Days of Thunder moment there. So Stephen Downton now coming down pit road. That's going to put Thomas Andrews being scored at the front of this race despite coming in incredibly slow to pit road. Terry Freer now being scored as the leader. He's sitting behind the pace car. Let's see if we can bother the Michigan native and see how his race is going for him so far. Possibly. Terry Freer, Rick James in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Yes, sir.
12 laps into this race, my friend, you are at the front of everybody. You've kept your car clean for the most part. Kansas City's Seth Wansing, who just got clipped in that accident, now in the second position. I know we're only a tenth of the way through this race, but we're halfway through the first stage. Do you have a stage and potentially a race-winning car?
I believe so, as long as I can keep it out of trouble. I was the fastest car in practice both sessions.
It looked like the 17 of Donald Ray just incredibly loose into 3. There was no contact between you and him. Are the cars that difficult to drive?
Yes, when there's a car behind you, it takes all of the air off of what little spoiler we have, and it makes them incredibly loose.
So the secret to staying ahead would be to drive in second place, is that right?
It all depends on how well you can control your throttle if you're the car ahead. If you can maintain your throttle properly, you can keep it under you in the corners and still keep the lead.
Interesting stuff. Certainly it's going to play into tire management and fuel management as well, but the most important question anybody could ask you tonight, Terry Freer, what is your favorite breakfast?
Ooh, I had some scrambled eggs this morning, and they were the bomb.
You know what? I'll take scrambled eggs. That's a good one. That's a good one, man. All right, scrambled eggs. Thank you, Terry. Best of luck. Enjoy the rest of the race.
Thank you.
Lapeer, Michigan's Terry Freer in the number 46 car at the front of this one. So we're patiently waiting for the lights to turn off on the pace car so we can turn these cars loose one more time. Folks, we're going to take advantage of this momentary ceasefire. We're going to take a 60-second break, and we'll be back with the resumption of ARCS 87 at Talladega. Don't go anywhere. Subscribers still watching ad-free on Twitch, thank you so much. Your subscriptions keep us going. Your subscriptions do so much more than these 60-second ads ever could. So you get to stay ad-free for the rest of the race. The normal viewers, well, the other viewers that aren't subscribers, I should say, will be ad-free for the next 20 minutes. But thank you again for your subscription. Really, really appreciate you. If there's something I can do to make your experience better, let me know. We'll do everything it takes to keep you happy and keep you engaged. But the lights are out on the pace car. We're about to get rolling one more time. Once again, big shout out to the fans that are joining us. Obfuscate Moon says, oof, and he says, go Terry, cheering for that number 46 DuPont Chevrolet with a dent in the butt. Josh Garrison in the number 77 Chevrolet to the outside. So it's going to be a Chevy lockout of row number 1. Then Steve Downton, who was in that accident there after being collected by the 17 of Donald Ray. He'll be sitting in the 4th position. He's up 11 spots since the green flag flew. What will Downton have for the second half of stage number 1? Very difficult to get these cars going considering that they have no downforce whatsoever. That's something that we've not only been hearing from Terry Freer, but a lot of the drivers in practice today. We'll have to see how they choose to manage this. K Harvick fan 429 hosting the stream. Kevin, thank you, buddy. Glad to have you here, Kev. Thank you so much for hosting, pal. I hope you're enjoying this one as well. Big shout out to my man, K Harvick fan, broadcaster, racer, just like Repeat as well, and a good one at that. I hope you're enjoying the show, Kev. Michigan's Terry Freer restarting this race to the inside of Josh Garrison in the 77. It will be the second restart of the day, just a short, lucky number 13 laps into this race. I clicked the wrong button. Now we're back where we need to be with Freer at the front. Garrison to his outside, waiting for the signal. Bringing him up real slow. Drops the hammer and the green flag is out. Freer leading at Dega. Up to full song, 194 miles an hour as they go through the corner. Steve Downton still in the top 5 in the number 54 PPG Ford. He's got Gary Evers to his inside. Tom Sears now making up that gap, trying to get closer. Contact out of the back. There's Honeybrink who goes into the wall. Pinnell's been involved. Honeybrink skids to the inside. One more time we stay green at Dega. Honeybrink going to take a drive through pit road. Freer still leading. Al Simkowski now in second. He's got help from Garrison. Simkowski making a charge for first. There's Simkowski now to the inside of Freer. Cars fanning wide down the back straight. Simkowski to the inside. He's got Garrison behind him. Freer still leads into 3. Now Tom Sears up the middle in the 18. Loose in turn 3. Sears trying to hang on. He's going to come back up the racetrack. Downton avoids him. Contact behind them. Ryan Pinnell's been involved. Cars flying, scraping against the wall, and caution number 3 is out. 15 laps into this race, and we don't even get another 2 laps without the yellow coming out one more time. So, at the front of this race now, Justin Williams leading in the number 83 car, starting 17th when this race came to be, and now leading at the moment of caution. Al Simkowski in the second position, and Josh Garrison sitting third. And looks like that all started with Tom Sears getting loose into turn number 3. Let's have a look and watch from the run in turn number 2. Here's Sears up the middle. Watch him dive up to the inside there. 3 wide for first, and it looks like Sears just gave it too much wheel. It's exactly what happened. Comes back up the racetrack. Downton just avoids him. And there, no, that was Ryan Pinnell, and it looked like the 24 car, being piloted by Tyler Patterson, was also involved. Let's run this one back just a little. Have another look. Pinnell, Patterson, there Downton took a hit as well. There's Tyler Patterson. He gets into the wall on his own. Ryan Pinnell's about to get collected with him. There they are into the wall, and Stephen Downton about to get a piece. Stephen Downton just trying to keep his car pointed in the right direction. Boom. Couldn't hang on to her. Second crash tonight for Stephen Downton. First crash tonight for Tyler Patterson and Ryan Pinnell. 17 laps about to start here at Talladega under caution conditions. Lurkin Tom Gaming in the chat says, whoops. K Harvick fan 429 says, ouch. Hard hit indeed. So that's going to put Al Simkowski at the front of this race. Let's try and bother Simcoe and see how his race is going for him so far. Who the heck was that? Somebody just took off to the inside here. That's Pinnell in the 12. What just happened to Ryan? Just lose it on his own? Literally just lost the race car on his own. I don't know if he was trying to avoid Pressey, but less than dignified halt for the 12 car. Sitting in the 7th position. Anyway, as we were, let's try and bother Al Simkowski for his for a couple of words, but I can't see Simkowski's available right now, so we're going to leave him alone. Oh, there he is. Never mind. Got him in the wrong spot. Al Simkowski, Rick James in the booth. You got me?
Gotcha.
Al, you're leading this race after some brave moves that put you in the front here, but it seems like cautions have been plaguing the field. What's happening where we can't get going?
These cars are a handful. It's a little bit different than what we're used to normally running. So these things definitely, you got to drive them more. They push through the corners, you got to lift, and they're unstable in a pack. So I think we're just trying to get it figured out here. But yeah, hopefully we can get away from the cautions. I know stage breaks coming up here soon. So
what's going to be the key to staying in front? Because it seems like we saw the 17 of Donald Ray lose control into 3. Same with Tom Sears in the 18 that was the catalyst to this third accident. Is there a chance that the drivers will be able to stay away from each other and keep the air on these race cars so we can keep it going?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here is, honestly, we should just try to be patient, space out a little bit. These things got a huge draft, so you know, you almost don't want to be leading, honestly, until that last lap. But yeah, we'll see how the rest of this race goes.
Josh Garrison now to your outside, and Michigan's Terry Freer behind you. Freer, who's had the most control at the front of this race. Are you picking up drafting partners already, or is it still every man for themselves?
It's kind of every man for themselves. We're just having fun here. But yeah, I think as we see the race progress, you're gonna have to team up with a couple of people and just try to stay up front, stay in a pack.
What's your favorite breakfast, Al Simkowski?
Raisin Bran.
Get out. And that's the last we're going to hear of Al Simkowski. So, no more from him. I hope his car blows an engine, and I hope he finishes stone dead last. Josh Garrison now to the outside of Al Simkowski in the 77. Seth Wansing in the number 9, starting on the outside. And I should explain myself. I generally don't have anything against Al Simkowski. It's a running joke about Raisin Bran. Because he is 4,000 years old, and he eats Raisin Bran for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because he has no imagination whatsoever. So Simkowski, with no imagination or taste in good breakfast food, will be starting on the pole to the inside of Josh Garrison in the 77. Seth Wansing on the outside. Chevys all the way down to the 7th position, where you'll find Hoover, Alabama's Ryan Pennell. He's starting behind Gary Evers in the 6th, and then John Honeybrink in the gorgeous Tide Ride behind him, starting on the inside of row number 5. So hopefully we can get these cars moving for more than a couple of laps. Al Simkowski at the front. Will he stay at the front? Only time will tell. 18 laps about to be completed. Simkowski getting a great jump down the front straight. There's the green flag. We're racing again at Talladega. Garrison now to the inside, looking to make it 3 wide down the back. Wansing now up the inside line, looking for that spot. He's going to have to hold on to that race car. You saw him starting to pitch in the wrong direction. Garrison leading, Wansing behind him. Here comes Freer in the 46 Rainbow Warrior Chevrolet. Three Chevys in the podium position. Chevy's all the way down to 7th where Ryan Pinnell sits. There's Thomas Andrews having to check up off the wall. Tom Sears now to his inside in the 18. Does he take it too low? Sears now washing up the racetrack right in front of Honeybrink. Hold on to her, boys. Honeybrink now checking up behind Sears. Pinnell in the 12, now to the inside of Andrews. This for position. Single file as Cody Riggs hits the outside wall, slams the inside, and a huge hit for the driver of the 3 Goodwrench Chevrolet. Freer now leading, Wansing down to the inside. Freer's going around for a spin. Hold on to her, Terry. Hold on to her, Terry. What a save from the driver of the 46 DuPont Chevrolet. Evers now to the outside, and Simkowski holding on behind him as Andrews hits the wall. Right in front of Pinnell, who avoids him. Now back up the racetrack. Tom Sears moves into the 7th position, and at the front of this race, Garrison still leads. Wansing to his outside. Gary Evers sitting in 3rd. There goes Wansing, who's up the racetrack, right into the 77 of Garrison, who's struggling to hold on to her. Garrison back up the racetrack, gets into the 99, 99 into the 24, pieces of race car all over the place. Williams gets collected in the 83, they're still flying, and a 4th caution, 21 laps into this race as Gary Evers is the leader in car number 6. John Honeybrink holding the 2nd position. Tom Sears in 3rd. Here comes Terry Freer to his inside. Seth Wansing in the 5th position. Evers, by his lonesome, will collect the flag. And the 4th caution is out 21 laps into this race. Obfuscated Moon cheering for Terry Freer says, "Woo, Terry." And there he is in the 3rd position, behind the 2nd place car of John Honeybrink. Chevy, Ford, Chevy, your top 3. Tom Sears and Al Simkowski rounding out the top 5. And this all started here. We saw the 3 of Cody Riggs getting into the wall. And then the next lap, that was all she wrote. Justin Williams getting collected in a huge accident out of turn 2. It all started with Riggs. Let's take a look. So it's going to come down to the next lap, it looks like. Let's speed up here, take a look. There's Thomas Andrews, who's already slow, coming down the front straight. Here's Tyler Patterson in the 24. He's going to make it through. It's Justin Williams here. He's going to run into a big spot of trouble up ahead. Josh Garrison in the 77, who was turned around and put into the wall. So much action happening in these first 22 laps. Gives us a chance to take another break here. K. Harvick fan 429 says, so much is happening at once. Kev, you're telling me. I'm having a hard time keeping up with these guys, but apparently they're out here doing their thing. So we're going to take another short break here, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. We're going to resume this race at Dega. Lurkin Tom Gaming kindly informing us that's stage 1. I definitely had that one wrong. So it is the 4th caution, but that's the end of stage number 1 just early there. So we were scheduled to end that at 25, but that is going to be the end of the first stage. So we'll go to 50 laps to end the 2nd stage, and then a 50 lap shootout for the end of this one. Harvick enjoying himself. I'm enjoying myself. I hope you fans are having a good time. We are ad-free for the next 25 minutes of racing. Got to love that. So there's a bit of a fundraiser race happening Tuesday night in the Alliance Racing Championship Series. That's what ARCS stands for, if you just saw our title card and saw ARCS 87. So Thomas Andrews, who's in this race, along with Dustin Painter, who makes his rounds around ARCS and the OG Racing Leagues, putting together a fundraising event with 50% of the pool going to the winner next Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. at New Hampshire Motor Speedway to help fund the modified tour that's coming up at the end of the year. If you want to participate in the race, you can go ahead and sign up at racearcs.com. I'll put the link here in the Twitch chat, racearcs.com, or you can donate your $10 to paypal.me/ARCS Modified Foundation or something like that. But there's the link, racearcs.com, if you want to register for the ARCS fundraiser next Tuesday. Also, if you want to register for any other leagues and events, such as the 87s that we're running here. Mazda MX-5s are coming up soon. All that and more you can find at racearcs.com, the official site of the Alliance Racing Championship Series. So the lights are out on the pace car. That's the end of stage number 1 with Gary Evers taking the credit. John Honeybrink starting to his outside in that number 10, ready to turn him loose one more time. Evers, Honeybrink, Patterson, your top 3 as they round 3 and 4. Let's see how long they survive in this second stage. So difficult to get these cars rolling once again, but Honeybrink and Patterson seem to have it down. Those two sitting second and third, moving up 9 and 11 spots respectively since the race started. Pace cars down and the green flag is out. Let's turn them loose again. Gabbard to the inside, slowing down, letting the field go by as they file into turn number 3. Evers leads Honeybrink into the corner. Honeybrink now to the inside. 2x2 high and low. Evers now to the inside. Who's that just blinked? That was Williams in the 83 car. Hopefully he's okay. Honeybrink to the front. Evers in second. Here comes Tyler Patterson fighting Thomas Sears for third. Cars grinding off those walls, trying to stay off the walls and keep it pointed in that right direction. Honeybrink, new leader. Evers in second. Tom Sears in third, but these cars punch such a massive hole in the air. Now, faster than 204 as that's Gabbard who's skidding to the inside. Terry Gabbard slamming that inside wall, going around backwards. That's Pressey who's still moving, and Gabbard the only one that goes around. We stay green. Honeybrink still leading. Honeybrink at the lead. Evers sitting in second. Ty Patterson in third with Tom Sears behind him. Kansas City's Seth Wansing now to the outside in the number 9 Hooters Chevrolet. Will Wansing get the chance to move closer to the front? Donald Donald Ray. There goes Sears in the 18, right down to the inside, slam. Driver still moving along. It looked like there's the 12 of Ryan Pinnell right up against the wall. Donald Ray still survives, and we stay green at Talladega. Honeybrink leading in that 10 car. Evers sitting in second, Patterson's in third, and caution number 5 is out on the speedway. Let's wind them back one more time. 5th caution of the day. And let's have a look, see what happened. It started with Sears in the 18, then it went on with the 17 of Ray, the 12 of Pinnell. Let's have a look. Sears just getting loose in the 18. It looks like everybody just checks up as well. Here comes Pinnell in the 12. Good, and you could hear that from a mile away. Let's roll this one back. Matter of fact, let's ride along with Ryan Pinnell and see if there was anything he could have done to avoid this, because it looked like the 99 of Simkowski also got loose to his inside. Oh, the 12 hits the wall on his own, gets into the 99 of Simkowski. The 13 nearly collected. Toby Estes gets away. Pinnell slams into the wall, and that's going to be his nice and shiny race car. He's going to have to get some repairs for that one. So John Honeybrink at the front of this race in the number 10 Tide Ride. Let's see if we can get a hold of the man and see how his race is going for him so far. John Honeybrink, it's Rick James. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you, Rick.
Faking your way down pit road, my friend. You think it's a wise move to stay out on old tires?
I'm hoping so. I don't have too much experience in this car, but seem to be pretty fast in it, and I'm just hoping the tires hold up.
Seems like a lot of guys have had trouble keeping these cars pointed in the right direction. What is going on? Are these cars just that hard to drive?
Yes, they get a little loose if you stay in the gas and in the turns on center, and if you don't let out at the right spot, it will go around on you. And I just think they're having a little trouble dealing with that.
A lot of the trouble seems to be at the front. Drivers like Tom Sears struggling to hold on to her. Drivers like Donald Ray holding on to her now. And then even the local boy, Ryan Pinnell from Hoover, Alabama, having some trouble in his number 12. You brought out the first caution of the day, sailing through that Talladega sky, much like Rusty Wallace in the infield. How was that for a ride?
Oh, I'm in VR, so that was pretty intense. And then, yeah, I'm already out of fast repairs, so I'm trying to stay out front and keep it clean for the rest of this race.
It seems
see
like
how it goes.
It seems like that's going to be the hardest task for some of these drivers, is staying in front and keeping it clean. Which leads me to my next question, John Honeybrink. What is your favorite breakfast?
Oh, I gotta go with Fruity Pebbles, Rick.
Fruity
Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles. You know who else likes Fruity Pebbles? Shaquille O'Neal. I'm serious.
Well, that's awesome.
Wheaties has actually asked Shaq to be on a box of Wheaties before, and he says no, because I don't eat Wheaties, but I do eat Fruity Pebbles, so he does commercials for Fruity Pebbles.
Oh, heck yeah, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
The Shaq cereal, man. Hopefully you put in a Shaq-like performance and get that dub, John. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Greg.
Honeybrink, who's normally driving the number 20 U.S. Navy Camry, switching it out for what some might recognize as Ricky Rudd's Tide Ride, or Darrell Waltrip's Tide Ride, depending on what generation you're from. Lurkin Tom Gaming with a sad face in the chat. He says, someday I'll finish a race on Rick James' stream. I promise. Let's have a word with the Massachusetts native and see exactly what happened. Thomas Sears, it's Rick James up top. You got me, buddy? Tom Sears, Rick James in the booth. You got me? And nothing from Tom Sears. Probably just trying to work out the mechanics of getting that car repaired. No pun intended. So Honeybrink to the front of this one. At the front of this race, Honeybrink leading. He's got Josh Garrison behind him. The ARCS 87s at Talladega Superspeedway so far had more than our fair share of cautions, but these cars are a handful. First stage ended with the 6 of Gary Evers getting the stage win. He finds himself on the outside of row number 2. Hoover, Alabama's Ryan Pennell up 7 spots since we started this race, sitting in the 6th position right now. No idea what that was. Honeybrink in that number 10, leading so far. I know it says 14, but these guys put these paint schemes together last minute here, so the numbers might be off. But I'll take care of that. I'll keep us guided in the right direction. Don't you worry about that. You folks just need to sit back and enjoy this one. Donald Ray getting back out on the racetrack in the number 17 Wrangler Chevrolet, the Arkansas native, channeling his inner Dale Earnhardt, keeping it pushing with Nick Pressey in lucky number 13th position, rolling ahead in his custom number 94 Estete's Ford Thunderbird. Justin Williams, who was frankly just clapped in that last accident, he caught a huge piece of the 77 that came in front of him. Williams looking like he's going to relinquish his position and start at the back. But at the front, it's all bravery here. John Honeybrink in that 10 car starting to the inside of Josh Garrison, and you heard Honeybrink say he's out of fast repairs. Each of these drivers getting only 2, and he's used his so far. 1 more, and that could be his afternoon. Honeybrink to the inside, Garrison going to be to his outside now. It's a Chevy Ford share of row number 1. Honeybrink, a third of the way through this race, takes the green flag, and we're racing again at Dega. First lap complete. Honeybrink leading safe and sound. Thomas Andrews now behind him in the number 27 Kodiak Chevy. St. Louis's Al Simkowski now to the outside. Tom Andrews, not Sears, sitting behind. Honeybrink now. Ford, Chevy. Ford, your top 3 with Lincoln's, with Hoover's. I was calling him Lincoln. With Hoover's Ryan Pennell grinding up against that safer barrier, headed into 3 with a 12-car survive. Simkowski behind him in the 99. There's Freer in the 46, just to the outside of Gary Evers coming out of 4. There's Pennell. He's losing the race car. Ryan, hold on to her, pal. Hold on to her. There goes Freer. There's cars slamming up the inside wall. They wreck again at a turn number 4. Caution number 6 is out. John Honeybrink leads this one. Michigan's Terry Freer caught up in that accident, now carrying a cone down the front straight. That's a bit weird. Nonetheless, Lapeer, Michigan's Terry Freer with a spot of trouble, and I believe the 77 of Josh Garrison also involved in that accident. So caution comes out one more time. And is that the 54 of Stephen Downton? It is Stephen Downton from Plainfield, Indiana. Not what we wanted to see out of the 54 car. He jumps into pit road as well, and hopefully his night isn't over. John Honeybrink still leading in that number 10 Tide ride. Thomas Andrews possibly coming down pit road this time by, not sure. We'll wait to bother the Connecticut native before we have a word with him. Downton Gaming saying, that hurt. Matter of fact, we can bother Stephen Downton. We know he's not doing anything right now. Look at him. Of course he's not doing anything right now. So let's bring him in and see how his race was going so far. Let's bring him in here. If I can hit the right button. Stephen Downton, Rick James up top. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Talk to us, Steve-O. What happened, pal?
Oh, well, the first part of the race got a little messy, so I've been hanging in the back, just kind of keeping my car, trying to keep my car in one piece. And well, I just got hit again, so I've got about 8 minutes of repairs. I'm gonna try and get my way back out there, but ow, that hurt.
Just watching the replay now, you got collected by that 77 and your tire went flying and the car just went skidding through the infield, Steve-O. So it's going to be 8 minutes of repairs here. What have you learned so far? Have we learned anything about these 87s that make them fun, not fun to drive?
They're literally the hardest. They are the hardest to drive on iRacing when it comes to asphalt, but they are fun. We're having a blast in the chat. We're laughing. We're having a good time, but we're just trying to get these cars figured out.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll see how the rest of the race pans out, Steve-O. But the most important question anybody's going to ask you today, my friend, what is your favorite breakfast?
Favorite breakfast would definitely have to be a good bacon, egg, and cheese on toast.
Ooh, what
sandwich.
kind of toast?
Probably wheat.
Yeah. Not like Italian or anything like that. Or let me ask you this: how do you do the eggs? Because that's important too. Whether you like them sunny or scrambled.
What I do is I'll kind of like put like a scrambled egg patty, basically what I'll make to put on the sandwich.
You know, that actually sounds really, really... You know what? I think I'm going to come over to your house and you're going to make breakfast.
Yep, make hash browns and everything.
I'm looking forward to it, Steve-O. Enjoy your time over there in a wrecked race car jail, buddy. Hopefully we see you back out on the track.
Oh, you better believe it.
Thanks, Steve-O. So Stephen Doughton in pit road getting his car fixed. We're still ad-free for the next 8 minutes and some change. Evo Prizzi following recently. Thank you, Evo, for that follow. I appreciate you so much, buddy. Again, a big shout out to K Harvick Fan 429 who hosted the stream earlier this evening. And for the rest of you, if you've just joined us, I'm Rick James bringing you uninterrupted green flag coverage of ARCS 87 from the Talladega Superspeedway. Thomas Andrews currently at the point. He's ahead of Al Simkowski in the number 99 Mellow Yellow Chevrolet. This race brought to you by the good folks over at DI9 Designs, a Chase Elliott custom graphic design house on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at DI9 Designs. They post graphics on all platforms multiple times a week on top of taking requests on all logos, Chase Elliott wallpapers, and even iRacing schemes. Follow and DM them for more details. They are not affiliated with Hendrick Motorsports or Chase Elliott. Fans at home, if you've been curious how you can get together with Alliance Racing Championship Series, or ARCS, this guy right here, Thomas Andrews, has the key. Next Tuesday, there is a fundraising event for the Alliance Racing Championship Series, a race from New Hampshire. Next Tuesday, 8:30 Eastern, a $10 buy-in for this New Hampshire race, and 50% of the pool goes to the winning driver. The other 50% funds the upcoming modified season for the Alliance Racing Championship, for the Alliance Racing Championship Series. So if you want to be a part of ARCS, you know where to go. It's racearcs.com. One more time, racearcs.com for all your information. The official webpage of the Alliance Racing Championship Series, where you can sign up for next Tuesday's New Hampshire fundraiser and where you can be a part of all the racing action. So the lights are out on the pace car. We're going to turn these guys loose one more time. Thomas Andrews leading this race with Al Simkowski in the second position on the outside. Chevrolets all the way down until you get to John Honeybrink in the number 10 Tide car. Ryan Pennell, the other highest ranked Ford. Of the 17 pilots we have tonight, only 5 are driving those blue ovals, and they've been doing a good job thus far, despite everybody getting caught up in action one way or another. So it's the first time that Thomas Andrews is going to lead this race in his number 27, not his number 2, his number 27 Kodiak Chevrolet. As the Ford Mustang pace car peels off, Andrews gets a sensational jump, and we're racing again at Dega. 3 wide for the second position early. Justin Williams in the 83 car going to the high side. Donald Ray coming down right on Thomas Sears. Will Ray hold it out of turn number 4? Glove save by Donald Ray. Unbelievable. Right in front of Freer, and now he's going to go around. He's going to collect Freer with him. There goes Freer in the 46. He keeps it moving in the right direction. Ray keeps it moving in the right direction. 2 saves in less than half a lap, and I hope we're not going to miss any accidents here, because I have got to see this again. Run this one back. How on earth did Ray save this? Take a look. Look at the hands. Look at the hands. Look at the hands. Unbelievably good save. Ray down to the 9th position, now well off the pace with Gary Evers behind him, as Justin Williams is your new undisputed leader at the front. Glove save, and my hat's off to Arkansas Donald Ray. If that's not the move of tonight's race, I don't know what will be. Donald Ray, what a save. Bam and Travis says, Rick James is the GOAT. Mama Vols, you're too kind. Thank you, my love. I appreciate you so much, as Al Simkowski continues to destroy that mellow yellow race car. More cars grinding up along the wall. Gary Evers struggling to get going. Terry Freer blasts around Nick Pressey, and now Justin Williams under siege from John Honeybrink in the 10. Out of turn number 4, Williams, Honeybrink, Andrews your top 3. The tide ride. Now to the back of the number 83, Monte Carlo. This for the lead. Pinnell going crazy up the inside line. Now here comes Williams on the outside. Overtaken by Honeybrink. 39 laps into this race. John Honeybrink, new leader. The stage ends at lap 50. Thomas Andrews in the 27. Squirrely, wiggly ahead of Toby Estes in the number 13 Wrangler Chevrolet. Seth Wansing now to the outside in the number 9 Hooter Chevy. Looking to go up the middle, but he'll follow the outside line. Simkowski now behind him. Honeybrink still leading. Here comes Williams in the 83. Honeybrink now down in front of the 27. Honeybrink well loose in 3. Hold it, John. Hold it, John. He's got no more fast repairs. There goes Wansing in the 9. Honeybrink holds it. Where's Simkowski? Into the wall. Honeybrink saves it. Wansing saves it as well. Simkowski slow. Cars flying and filing around him. Down the front straight, we stay green with Justin Williams still in the front. Now Toby Estes and Thomas Andrews battling for second with a patient Tyler Patterson in 4th. And there's a big wreck out of 2. Cars flying everywhere. Honeybrink has been wrecked. He's out of fast repairs, and that's going to be his race. Simkowski in the 99's been collected, and he gets into the 9 of Wansing. And Seth Wansing jumps right. No, there he is. He's still tumbling. All right. And Ryan Pinnell in the 12 car, nowhere to be found. So let's take a look at pit lane, and you can see these cars are really dropping off like flies now. Cody Riggs being scored out of this race. Terry Gabbard, 14 laps down. Tom Sears, 13 laps down in the 15th position. Josh Garrison, 8 laps down. Stephen Downton, 7 laps down. And then Ryan Pinnell, who's about to go a lap down, receiving these repairs. John Honeybrink, who's still rolling despite not having any fast repairs on the tide ride. How's he now going to survive this race? Wansing in the 10th position seems to be the final car actually running under his own power. Bama Trama says, wow. K. Harvick fan puts an F in the chat for those wrecked drivers. We'll see who's still standing, who's still around, but it looks like Justin Williams is actually our race leader. We're going to have a chat with Justin and then take a 60-second break. But, wow, all right. Let's have a quick word here. Williams, Rick James in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. James?
Living the dream. Justin. Hell's Ginger says, it sounds like I'm having fun in the booth tonight. Gavin Hudspeth says, poor Ryan and the 10 car, but you, my friend, in a special custom Monte Carlo. Almost looks like a Monte Carlo you might see on the street, man. I'm loving the paint scheme, and you've got it at the front for a consistent 6 to 7 laps. It seems like your patience has been paying off dividends tonight, Mr. Williams.
Yeah, you know, these cars, they're tricky, and everybody in this field's hungry and aggressive. So it's like racing with Jeff Gordon, Dale Jr., and Tony Stewart all day.
It seems like the most difficult part is keeping control of these race cars. Why are they so difficult to drive?
It pretty much all breaks down to aero. It's got a lot of bumps and grinds in it. They're not very aerodynamic, and the chassis is not the same, but they're fun. Fun race so far.
What's it going to take to stay in front? It seems like drafting has been the name of the game all afternoon.
Yeah, if you got a dance partner, you're probably definitely going to win this thing, but it's going to probably come down to shootout, probably 10 or less. It's going to be about skill and who can handle their car the most.
Absolutely, and that's going to bring us to the most important question of the evening, JW. What is your favorite breakfast?
That's a tough one. Cup of coffee. Pretty much, yeah, coffee.
You got a favorite kind of coffee?
Anything that goes in my Keurig that's black.
I'm the same way, man. I'm preferable to Lavazza or Cafe Bustelo, but, you know, as long as it's coffee and it tastes good, I'll drink it, man. So I'm with you there. Best of luck here, Justin. Hopefully we talk to you at the end of the race.
Yeah, not a problem, Mr. James. You and everybody else have a great night. Thank you.
Kay Harvick fan has to head out preparing for an RHRL race. He says this has been a great race so far. Thank you, Kevin. And if you folks don't know about Kay Harvick fan 429, give my man some love. He's going to be streaming here soon. Click on his name, go to his profile. He's got some thrilling broadcasts week in and week out, and he has been making his own name in the racing world. Twitch.tv /Kay Harvick fan 429. Show him what's up. Let him know you care, because I certainly do. Hell's Ginger said something about her husband's sandwiches. Oh, yeah, his sandwiches are the best. She's talking about Stephen Downton, I think, making breakfast sandwiches. Well, now Stephen Downton has plenty of time to make you breakfast sandwiches because his car is going literally nowhere. Justin Williams at the front of this race, lined up 2 by 2, getting ready to get going. Fans, sit tight. We won't take a break now, but the pre-rolls are on, so at the next moment of caution, which will come rather soon, we will have another 60-second break right before the start of stage number 3. We're going to restart with 7 to go in stage number 2. Gav Hudspeth says action-packed racing to say the least. Oh, he got me there, Gav. It really is action-packed, isn't it? But hopefully the action stays pointed to the front and turn it to the left. We'll have a look. You know what? That's actually a good excuse to throw a poll up in this chat. Let's ask you, the fans, what your favorite breakfast is. We'll put up a poll here, and we'll ask the fans, what is your favorite breakfast? And we'll start with eggs, coffee. We'll say a sandwich. What else do people eat for breakfast? Cereal. Or other. And I spelled cereal wrong. I can't have that. That's just embarrassing. So there's going to be your poll. I'm reading cereal 4 times to make sure I spelled it correctly, because if I spell cereal wrong in a broadcast, I'll never live it down. But the question goes, what is your favorite breakfast? Your options are eggs, coffee, sandwich, cereal, or other. 10 minutes up in the chat for you to answer that. Justin Williams leading in the number 83 Monte Carlo with Thomas Andrews to his outside. Hopefully this is the last restart in the stage. 7 to go when they take the flag. Green is out, and we're resuming stage number 2. cautions out again. What in the world happened this time? Not even sure what happened here. We don't have anybody that's lagging down on the racetrack, but Nick Pressey by himself, as Sebastian the Cat says hello, 44 laps into this race. So Pressey sitting in the 10th position. There's Simkowski in the 99. Honeybrink there in the 10. Let's see what brought out the yellow this time. Honeybrink slow on the outside. This is where the yellow flag comes out here. Wasn't Ray, Wansing, Evers, anybody. Okay, so I guess the yellow flag just came out here. Matter of fact, let's have a word with Ryan Pennell and see what brought out the caution this time here. See if we can, El Presidente, they call him in the chat. Let's see if we can bother the Alabama native. Ryan Pennell, Rick James up top. You got me, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Ryan, you've got plenty of time to reflect as the 8th caution comes out in 45 laps. We have an average of 6 green flag laps per run, but the last 2 green flag runs have been nothing more than 5 laps here. What brings out the caution this time around, my friend?
Yeah, I think it was just a miscommunication between race control. There was actually not a caution on the track, so that was just a little miscommunication between race control and the guys up on the tower. But yeah, I'm unfortunately stuck on pit road. Got about 44 minutes of repair, so I'm helping out race control, helping just look to see if any of these guys are making any kind of crazy moves on the track. But yeah, I'm stuck on pit road, so 12 cars not going to make it tonight.
A lot of drivers say, well, genuinely, I think you might. We're not even halfway. We've been going for about $1.20, but that's neither here nor there. What's the most difficult part about these cars, Ryan? A lot of drivers saying that it's the lack of aero that can't keep these race cars on track.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you have to really saw on this wheel to keep them, down on the bottom and even in the top. I mean, it's really tough. So I think that's what everybody's struggling with right now, just trying to keep them in their own lane. These are not the current generation. They're not the next gen. These things are really, really hard to drive, and I think you see it out there on the track.
Gavin Hudspeth asks, are we going to have enough cars to finish this race? With only 2 fast repairs, John Honeybrink recently got tagged in an accident, and he's nursing his car to the end. What would you say to guys that are running low on fast repairs? Is it a case of letting off the gas going into the corners, or is it just, as some guys say, you're just going to have to hammer down and hold on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in 12th, and obviously I'm going to be sitting there for a long time. Tyler Patterson, Nick Pressey, as well as Stitch, Alex Simkowski, all, a couple laps down. So we only have about 8 cars on the lead lap right now, so we'll see what these guys can do. But yeah, they definitely need to save their fast repairs. But shout out to Thomas Andrews, aka COT Tommy, up here in the lead. We'll see if he can hold on to it. We got Runaway Mayo back tonight. Seth Dub 9's out here. Warp Lotus Jeep's out here running with us, as well as Jacket and Jonathan Homebrink. So we got a lot of good talent out here. We'll see who can take it home and get that win.
A lot of talent, new and old, out here on the racetrack. You yourself, a native of Hoover, Alabama, you grew up listening to the race cars flying around this racetrack. Some say you were even born under the backstretch grandstands in the middle of a thunderstorm in 1992. But that's neither here nor there. The most important question anybody can ask you, Ryan Pennell, what is your favorite breakfast?
Man, I'm from the South, so I got to go with Waffle House, All-Star Special Breakfast Edition. I can't go away with with Waffle House.
Grits or hash browns?
Man, grits are just a Southern tradition. I know you're not a fan of grits, but I'm telling you, Grits are just amazing.
Ryan, I'm not a fan of grits because the first time I had grits was with you at a Waffle House on the side of a road in Tennessee, man. I had homemade grits 2 months after. Bomb. They slapped. Waffle House grits, garbage. Next time, I'm getting the hash browns.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Good luck tonight, man. Hopefully we get you back out on track.
It's 10-4.
Those Waffle House grits sucked. They sucked so hard. I was so excited to try grits for the first time ever, and then I went to Waffle House. They go, yeah, try the grits with butter and salt, and it was terrible. Fast forward a few weeks later, I actually had genuine homemade grits, and they were just amazing. So, you know, Waffle House grits not the best. Not going to ignore our fans in the chat here. Obfuscate Moon a while ago saying his favorite breakfast is 6 mini donuts and a dew. Hell's Ginger, or Mrs. Downton as she's more politely known, says cereal. And she also says, I got fancy switch screen sounds. I do have fancy switch screen sounds. Just getting fancier every week, and it's because of the fanship, Hell's Ginger. It's because of the loyal fans that keep us going week in and week out, that we can have fancy sights and sounds to bring to the fans. We're about to put the end to stage number 2, but will we survive? Andrews gets the good jump. Green flag is out at Dega for the 8th time today. Estes at the front of this race, but now here comes Seth Wanting to the outside. Thomas Andrews on the low line. That's Gary Evers on the high side in the number 6 Good Wrench Chevy, who resigns his position in the top 5 to drop to the back. Williams now to the lead on the outside using the draft. Will he clear Wansing out of 2? Williams hasn't cleared Wansing just yet. Here comes the KC Masterpiece. Now to the inside of the 83. Estes sitting in 3rd. Now moves up to 2nd using the draft. Freer drafting up behind Wansing, but Williams still in the lead. Here goes Estes for 1st from the outside to the inside. The Wrangler Chevrolet to the point at Talladega. Freer in the 46, now to the inside line, following Wanting through the tri-oval. Williams trying to draft and lead that lap across the line, and it is Williams who leads that line ahead of Estes. Wansing now sitting in the middle, trying to take the spot, trying to take the lead, trying to win stage number 2. Yellow flag will come out to end the 2nd stage. Next time by, we'll take a 60-second break. Williams leading, Estes to the inside, drag race down the back. 3 wide for the lead in turn 1. Estes now to the inside, Williams to the outside. There's Wansing struggling to keep it together. Andrews now in front of Ray coming out of turn number 4. Andrews a long shot to win stage 2, but at the front, it's going to be Justin Williams, who's now charging ahead of Toby Estes. They're coming down to the line, and the winner of stage number 2 is Justin Williams in the 83. Seth Wansing just beats Toby Estes to the line. Terry Freer in the 4th position. Unless that was the end of stage number 2 and we just started stage number 3. Who flippin' knows at this case? We're just trying to finish the show now. Justin Williams leading ahead of Seth Wansing. Toby Estes back there in 3rd, coming into the 3rd corner. Wansing to the lead in the Hooters Chevrolet. Williams now having his own drag race. These two side by side. They're going to drag race again to the line. Wansing to the inside. Look how loose he is with Freer behind him. That time across the line. Williams leads Wansing into 1. Now past the halfway mark, 52 laps underway at the Talladega Superspeedway. From southern Kansas City, the masterpiece, Seth Wansing, leading in the Hooter Chevrolet. There goes Simkowski for a ride. He manages to hold on to the mellow yellow Chevrolet, sitting ninth. The first car, the only car, 1 lap down. Williams back to the front, and this lead is changing like crazy. Freer sitting in the second position now. Seth Wansing sitting in third. Justin Williams leading the majority of laps this afternoon. Freer now to his inside, and he leads that lap by 1/100th of a second. 53 laps underway. Terry Freer to the inside of Justin Williams. Both cars getting loose. You can see how the aero affects these race cars in a major way. Coming up to lap traffic, that's Terry Gabbard, who's slow. Is Gabbard going to get out of the way? What is Gabbard doing in everybody's way on the high side? Is he insane? Terry Gabbard now crashing his race car against the turn 3 wall, impeding Alex Simkowski in the most unsafe way possible. Terry Gabbard, get it together. Justin Williams at the front, now trying to defend his lead from Terry Freer. Here comes Toby Estes in third. Estes in the third position. He's got Wansing behind him, but here comes Freer for the lead. The number 46 DuPont Chevrolet to the inside of the 83 Flaming Monte Carlo. Freer now to the inside with a head full of steam and a nose full of draft. Freer to the inside, now to the lead in turn number 1. Here comes Wansing in third. Terry Freer coming back after a hiatus. In second place, Pinnell Racing says, back up Terry. Well, he backed up all right. Terry's all the way backed up to, where is Terry Gabbard? He's backed up to 15th position by his lonesome. At that pace, Gabbard really should stick to the inside line. Hopefully he does that next time around. Here comes Freer up the inside line of Williams. Down the back straight, Seth Wansing following the 83 of Williams into turn number 3. Up 16 spots since the green flag flew. Now here comes Wansing to the inside. Slideways in the number 9 Hooter Chevy. There goes Williams right into the wall, almost on his lid. Huge wreck out of 4. There goes Thomas Andrews for a skid. He manages to keep the race car pointed in the right direction. Wansing now to the lead. Freer in second. Estes in third, and we stay green coming to the line. 55 laps now complete, and the yellow flag is out for the 9th time today. Just past the halfway point, Seth Wansing, Terry Freer, Toby Estes, your top 3. Let's have a look and see what exactly happened to Justin Williams. And there's Williams, who's already gone for a destructive ride. Let's back this one up and see if there was any contact or if he got help. Oh, he got help. At least it looked like he got help. Let's have a look. No help at all. No help at all. Man, what a hit. Ryan Pinnell was saying earlier, you really have to saw to get at these race cars. Let's have one more ride with Williams. There he is already losing it. Bam. From the cockpit view, let's see how Williams tried to keep this one. And keep an eye on the left side of your screen. Watch those hands here. You can see just how busy they are going into the corner. So Seth Wansing leading this race, 56 laps in. Terry Freer's in second, and Toby Estes is sitting in third. We're going to have a word with the KC Masterpiece after he comes out of pit road. Hell's Ginger says they are wild tonight. Obfuscate Moon says Freer keeping it classy and sassy. Debugs says welcome to the Carl 100. Oh dear Carl, what are we going to do with you? Hell's Ginger says put it in reverse, Terry. He might as well have been. Still moving at the pace that he's moving at, with Stephen Downton going to his outside. So Terry Freer electing not to come down pit road. The last time Freer was down pit road was lap 32, 25 laps ago. And the only other driver who hasn't pitted since then, there he is, Stephen Downton, who last pitted on lap 35. Freer playing an insanely dangerous game considering just how loose these race cars have been. Fans at home are going to take a 60-second break so we can go ad-free for 21 minutes. Then we'll be back and we'll have a word with Kansas City's Seth Wansing. Don't go anywhere. Subscribers to Rick James TV, thank you once again for sticking through. Really appreciate you. Really love you guys, especially through a unique show like this when we're trying these race cars for the first time in a competitive broadcast setting, and it's just so hard to keep everything going. But we're on the back nine now. We're on the home stretch, and we're going to finish this one, and we're going to bring you all the uninterrupted green flag racing we can. Thank you again for your subscriptions, guys. We cannot do this without you. Stay put, and we'll be back soon. So the lights are out on the pace car, and we're getting ready to go rolling once again, coming to 42 laps to go at the front of this race. Lapierre's Terry Freer leading in the number 46 DuPont Chevrolet, with Toby Estes, who was outside, in the number 13. Getting ready to throw the switch. Get him going one more time. Freer to the inside, and in the chat, Obfuscate Moon says he cut his teeth on Gran Turismo 2 and Dirt to Daytona. He's been through the trenches, and despite playing a dangerous game, he's held on to worse and come out just fine. He's known him long enough. Freer will take the green flag, and we're racing again at Dega. Oh, Estes, what happened to Toby Estes? He just did not move. Freer leading happily ahead of Seth Wansing as Hell's Ginger ignores her academic responsibilities. But now look at this. Brooklyn's Nick Pressey back into the top 3. The number 94 Estates Ford sitting in the 3rd position now to the inside of Terry Freer. Now chasing down Seth Wansing for first. Hell's Ginger says it's very hard to work on my college paper right now. She said she ran over it with her car. And I'll tell you what, I've never heard that excuse before. I've never heard, sorry, I can't turn in my paper. I ran it over with my car. I'll try that next time. 40 laps to go next time by. Seth Wansing still at the front. Terry Freer is in second, and here comes Brooklyn's Nick Pressey in third. Gary Evers back into the top 5 with Al Simkowski behind him. Evers down to the inside line. Here comes Simkowski. Now down to 6th as Donald Ray gets around him. Terry Freer to the front to the inside of Seth Wansing, who goes loose into the 3rd corner. Wansing now has Pressey behind him. Wansing drafting off of Freer out of turn number 4. Wansing now to the outside of Freer. Freer to the inside, loose, coming across that line. Seth Wansing just beats Terry Freer to the line. 40 to go now at Talladega, flashing up the best times of the day. It looks like to me the best time so far has to be a 46.06, driven by Michigan's very own Terry Freer, quicker than anybody else by at least 0.4 of a second. Just uncanny. Freer now to the lead. Justin Williams, who finds himself 1 lap down, struggling and trying to manually get his lap back. We've reached the final 39 of the evening. Pressey sitting in 3rd. Wansing trying to hold off the fight for the lead. He doesn't need to worry about Williams. He's got to worry about Freer to his inside. D-Buck says, that SKD guy better not wake the house up if he wrecks. That PC may see a hammer. There's Stephen Downton in the 54. He has destroyed 7 PCs this year with 7 different hammers. I don't know if he likes ruining computers or what, but I've heard that Stephen Downton has the worst problem when it comes to damaging equipment. We'll see if it survives another race. Seth Wansing leading ahead of Terry Freer. Now 63 laps underway at the Talladega Superspeedway. Evers bouncing off that wall. Both of the Wrangler cars going to the inside line. Justin Williams in the 10th position now. The first car 1 lap down. If another yellow comes out, Williams will get the lucky dog pass. Wansing now in second to the outside of Freer. Cuts in right in front of Pressey. Welcome Al Simkowski back to the top 5. Justin Williams 5th in line as one of the Wrangler cars bounces off the wall. Evers now catching up to Ray and Estes, nose to tail through the tri-oval. 64 laps now underway. 36 to go next time by. Wansing leading this race for a solid 4 straight. Will Freer draft behind him and take the lead? Let's ride along with Terry Freer. Just like that, in the blink of an eye, your lead can go down to 0. Terry Freer, you saw just losing control of that hot rod, getting knocked down to the 4th position. Seth Wansing now to the front. Al Simkowski in the 2nd position. Nick Pressey now battling with Simkowski for the 2nd spot. Wansing still leading 65 laps into this race. Pressy now battling with Freer, going through the tri-oval. Pressy loose through the tri-oval, gets collected by the 13 of Estes. Pressy into the air, tumbling down the front straight. Caution's going to come out, and Nick will go for a very long skid on his lid up onto the turn 1 apron, and he will come to a grinding halt on the apron of turn number 1. Let's have a look and see exactly what happened with Brooklyn's Nick Pressy. Just got loose. Let's take another look here. And just the telltale sign, it looks like Pressy, did he get some help, or he just got arrow loose ahead of the 13? Oof. So Seth Wansing is at the front of this race now with the 10th caution of the evening coming out just before we reach 30 laps to go. Seth Wansing, the KC Masterpiece, up ahead in the number 9 Hooters Chevrolet. Let's see if we can bother Seth for a word and see how his race is going for him thus far. Seth Wansing, it's Rick James. You got me?
Hello?
Seth Wansing, Rick James, you got me, buddy? One more time. Last call for Seth Wansing. It's Rick James up top. You got me? And no word from Seth, so we're going to let him go back to his friends. That's okay, Seth. I didn't want to talk to you anyway. Coming down pit road for tires and fuel as the 67th lap is about to be completed. That's going to put Arkansas Donald Ray at the front of this one. Let's have a word with the Raisin Brand fan and see how his race is going, because Seth Wansing doesn't want to talk. No, I'm just kidding. I love Seth. Donald Ray, Rick James up top. You got me?
I got you, buddy.
When you get back, you tell Seth Wansing that he didn't want to talk to me and that I never want to talk to him again. But your race so far, how's it going?
Man, I had to use up both my fast repairs in stage 1, but I was able to get most all the damage repaired and able to keep pace. So we'll see how it goes here. It's a lot of fun, man.
I've heard fun from some people. I've heard frustrating from others. I'm glad to see that you fall on the fun side of this debate. But these cars really seem like they are too much of a handful sometimes.
They are. You just got to know when to stay on the gas and when to get out of it. As long as you can do that, you should be able to keep it straight.
The lack of aero, the high speeds, and these thrilling throwback paint schemes make this such a fun evening. Would you do 87s again?
Absolutely.
Where would be the next track?
Man, let's go old school and let's go Charlotte. Let's take them back to Charlotte.
Let's take them back to Charlotte, and hopefully we can survive with more than 10 cautions. But you know, we're learning. To quote the great scientist Cave Johnson, we're throwing science at the wall and seeing what sticks here. And that brings me to my next question, Donald Ray. What is your favorite breakfast?
Let's go with Raisin Bran.
Of course it is.
You a little bit.
Of course it is. Of course it's Raisin Bran. Get out.
No.
No. So that's the end of Donald Ray's night, and I hope he blows a tire and finishes dead last. Al Simkowski is also in the second position, and he also loves Raisin Bran too, so we're going to go ahead and hope that he blows a tire. I hope Seth Wansing wins this race, who's sitting in the third position, because he likes stuff other than Raisin Bran. Let's try and bother Seth one more time and see how he loves his breakfast. Seth Wansing, Rick James up top. You got me? No idea what's happening over at Seth. Probably trying to get some stuff sorted there. No big deal. We're going to let him do his thing. No, I genuinely, I love Donald Ray. I love Alex Simkowski, two excellent friends of mine, and they've had a nice race so far. I hope the race and the good luck continues. 69 laps into today's event. The lights are off on the pace car. We're going to restart with 31 laps to go, and it's a front row share of the Raisin Bran lovers, Donald Ray and Al Simkowski, which at this point I really don't know if they like Raisin Bran that much. They just say that because they know I hate hearing Raisin Bran for an answer. But oh man, I'm having a blast. I know we're just goofing around up here, but I hope you fans are having a good time too. We're going to restart with 31 to go, and hopefully we can end this one before too late. D-Bucks says Pressey blinking more than a small town caution light. Talking about Brooklyn's Nick Pressey, who's getting repairs in the Estates Ford. Tom Sears finding himself 41 laps down, still on the inside there. Connecticut's Thomas Andrews in the number 27 car finds himself just 1 lap down in the 10th position, but Andrews gets his repairs. He's down, he's away. Donald Ray leading us to this line. 31 to go when we take this green flag. We're still ad-free for another 5.5 minutes, so we'll throw the next 60-second break at the next moment of caution. Hopefully that doesn't come too soon. There you see Stephen Downton getting one of his laps back. Getting ready to throw the switch on these race cars one more time. Green flag is out. Donald Ray gets a great jump in the 17. Ray to the inside. He's got Simkowski to his outside. They're battling for the lead early on. 30 to go. Next time by. Seth Wansing in the 3rd position ahead of Gary Evers. Toby Estes in the 5th position. In the number 13 Wrangler Chevy on the outside. Here goes Wansing to the inside. Well to the inside of the yellow line. Wansing says rules go out the window. Seth Wansing to the lead with a daring pass on the inside line. Simkowski in 2nd, Ray in 3rd. Here comes Evers trying for the bronze medal spot. Seth Wansing leads the 70th lap of competition. 30 laps remain at Talladega. Evers has kept his car clean. I don't think I've seen Gary Evers involved in a single crash tonight. Or we've just had so many that my memory fails me. It's probably the second one. Evers sitting in the 3rd spot. He's got Toby Estes behind him. Terry Freer rounding out the top 5. And Arkansas' Donald Ray sitting in 6th. Justin Williams and Donald Ray equally up 10 spots since the green flag flew. And at the front, Seth Wansing now having a fight on his hands from Al Simkowski. That's Donald Ray scraping on that turn 3 wall. He's got a lot of work to do to make that speed back up, and here comes John Honeybrink. Simkowski now to the lead with 29 laps to go. Seth Wansing to his outside, and here comes Gary Evers one more time. Top 7, all Chevrolets. Contact there between Simkowski and Wansing. There's Wansing, goes down onto Evers, and I've just jinxed Gary Evers. Wansing trying to keep his race car in one piece, making contact with Williams out of turn number 2. Wansing saves it, and Simkowski seemingly washing up the racetrack right in to Seth Wansing. No idea what that was all about, but Al Simkowski leading by 1.1 seconds, all by his lonesome. Toby Estes, Terry Freer making up the rest of the podium positions, coming to 28 laps to go. Caution, a number 11 out on the racetrack. So fans at home, we've got a chance to take that 60-second break and go ad-free for the next 21 minutes. We're going to do exactly that. Time to stretch your legs, get a snack, get a drink, and we will be back in 60 for the conclusion of ARCS 87 at Dega. Back to the Talladega Superspeedway, where we're racing the 87 stock cars. First time that I've at least broadcasted the 87s, and I'm having a blast here, but we're all ready to be done, I can assume. 11 cautions in 74 laps, which leaves us with an average of fewer than 7 green flag laps per every stint. Al Simkowski being scored as the leader with Terry Freer behind him in second. Thomas Andrews sits in third. Let's have a word with Thomas Andrews, see how he's enjoying his evening thus far. Thomas Andrews, Rick James in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Yeah, I got you, Rick. How you doing?
I'm living the dream, Tommy, but you guys must be frustrated with all these yellows out there.
Yeah, you know, it's frustrating, but these cars are a lot to handle. It's really hard to drive these cars on this track. Not like the current Cup cars or the next gen cars. These cars are loose as can be, and you really got to let off and fed to the throttle. And close racing tends to cause a bunch of accidents. So it is what it is.
What makes them so difficult to drive? Is it all strictly down to the aero?
I think so. I mean, I don't know these cars very well, but they got. I mean, there's really no downforce on the rear end of these cars. So you go. I'm lifting in the trial, just not to wreck, and I almost wrecked it there at the beginning of the race, but luckily saved it. But yeah, I just think that there's no downforce on the rear of the cars, and the car just wants to turn around on you.
With an average length of 6 laps for every green flag run, are you going to take as many tires as you can, or are you really going to prioritize track position in these final 25 laps?
I don't know. We'll see how it works out, but I do have a fast repair left, so if it does come down to that, I can use the fast repair, and obviously I'll get tires. But for right now, I don't really plan on pitting if I don't have to. So we'll see what happens. It depends on when the yellow falls.
One more interesting thing before I ask you about breakfast here, Tom. We've got ARCS, the Alliance Racing Championship Series, has an interesting fundraiser coming up next Tuesday at 8:30 from New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're running the modifieds at New Hampshire, the tour mods, and we'll be running a full season in 2022. Maybe a couple exhibition races before then, but this will be a fundraiser with 50% of the pot going towards the winner, and the rest of the pot going towards the league fees. So if anybody wants to join ARCS. Ask for myself or Dustin Painter, and we'll get you set up with those modifieds.
Sounds like a good time, and certainly the most important question I can ask you all evening, Thomas Andrews. What is your favorite breakfast?
French toast, no question.
What kind of bread?
Next question. I just like white. Whole wheat works too.
White or whole wheat on French toast. All right, best.
Whatever's in the house.
There you go. Very good answer, Tommy. Best of luck, buddy.
All right, thank you.
We're going to let him channel his inner Rusty Wallace and try and get to the front in that number 27 Kodiak Chevrolet that says Pontiac on the hood. But Alex Simkowski will lead us to the line. Simkowski in the mellow yellow Chevrolet. It's a Chevy lockout of the first 5 spots. Green flag is out. Great jump by Simkowski. Does that seriously say caution number 12? Terry Gabbard having his incident here. And let's see exactly what happened with Terry Gabbard to bring out the caution flag immediately after the green flag. Seems kind of silly at this point. Let's roll this one back and see exactly what happened. The number 4 car looked like he was trying to get a really, really good jump by getting on the gas a lot earlier than everybody else. Of course, he's all the way back here, but here's what I just can't see happening. Let's go back and have a look at the cockpit here. Here he is pulling up to the 10 of Honeybrink. And that was avoidable. There's no two ways around it. That was avoidable, and now we're under caution for the 12th time in 75 laps. So Al Simkowski still in the lead. Hell's Ginger saying 12 cautions, and yeah, what other face can you make at this point? So Simkowski leading ahead of Freer, ahead of Andrews. Toby Estes in the 4th position, and I don't think we've had a word with Toby just yet, so let's see if we can bother Toby Estes and see how his drive is going for him. Buddy. Toby Estes, Rick James in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Toby, new boy, welcome to ARCS. How's your first race going, especially in these 87s? You find yourself 3rd coming to 22 laps to go.
Well, it was a rough start, but now that all the wrecked cars are gone, I think everybody's on the same playing field right now.
You've got Simkowski ahead of you and Terry Freer. Chevy's all the way down, but certainly more cautions to come in these final 22 laps. Who is your best friend on the racetrack right now, and will they help you get to the lead?
I really don't have one. Just kind of laying back and going with the runs I have and not really trying to push the issue at the moment.
With a lack of aero, these cars have been increasingly hard to drive. And in these 76 laps we've run so far, we've had 12 cautions. We're nearing an average of 5 green flag laps between cautions here. Is this just a game of patience to the end?
Yeah, I think so. Patience is key, and we'll see what we got here at the end of the race.
Before we let you go, Green Toby, we got to know, my friend, what is your favorite breakfast?
Biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy. Now, how do you make your gravy, though? Do you make it out of the bacon fat?
Just it's out of the package.
Out of the pack. Okay, you know, I'll take that. I'll take that as well. Best of luck, Toby. Hopefully we talk to you later.
Yep, 10-4.
Not bad for his first run in ARCS, sitting in the 3rd position. Now, Terry Freer and Al Simkowski going to get us going one more time. Watch the jump on the 99, waiting for that pace car to peel off. There goes the Ford Mustang. There's Al Simkowski in the mellow yellow Chevy. 22 laps to go, and we're racing again. Estes now to the inside. He's got Ray to his outside. Al Simkowski up ahead in the 99 mellow yellow Chevy. Terry Freer now to the outside as Simkowski edges Freer through turn 3. Simkowski leading Freer and Estes through the trioval. 21 laps to go. Here comes John Honeybrink in the number 10 Tide Ride, sitting 5th right now. Gets to the inside of Thomas Andrews for the position, and that's Seth Wansing lingering towards the back in the number 9 Hooters Chevrolet. 11 cars now on the lead lap with the rest in pit road, and these guys just trying to maintain top speed. There goes the 27 of Andrews into the wall. Wansing's been collected again. We stay green as cars are now grinding down the backstretch. Wansing keeps it moving, and there's caution number 13, 79 laps into this race. Whew. Now the average will fall below 6 green flag laps. So Al Simkowski still leading this one here inside the final 20 laps. And you can just see how hard these cars are to drive. 13 yellow flags in 18 laps. I'm sorry, 13 yellow flags in 80 laps, not 18. Terry Freer in second. Donald Ray sits in third. John Honeybrink moves into the 4th position, and one of the most exciting drivers we've seen all night long, Justin Williams, back inside the top 5. Thomas Andrews scraping alongside that wall, got a piece of Seth Wansing in the 9. Let's have a look back and see just what happened between Andrews and Wansing. Andrews to the inside of Honeybrink. You can already see Wansing is loose out of 2. Andrews is going to make contact with the outside wall here in a moment. Just bounces off of the 10, the 9 car with nowhere to go. 2 cars involved in this most recent accident. Seth Wansing, the worst for wear, getting the most of that in the number 9 Hooters Chevy. He'll be coming down pit road for tires and fuel. Al Simkowski and Terry Freer staying out. See if we can take another 60-second break, and we'll be back in 1 minute for the conclusion of ARCS 87s at Talladega. So the lights are out on the pace car. We're going to get racing one more time. Simkowski in the 99. Side by side with Terry Freer. Row number 2 has Justin Williams and Gary Evers in those respective Chevrolets. Row 3 full of Thomas Andrews and Nick Preston. I'm sorry, row 3 full of Gary Evers and Donald Ray. Row 4 has Thomas Andrews and Nick Pressey. Stephen Downton in the 8th position, back on the lead lap, as is Seth Wansing in the 9. John Honeybrink sitting 10th, rounding out the lead lap cars, and the new boy, Toby Estes, who we just spoke with, being scored out of this race. So Simkowski getting us started once again with 18 laps to go at Talladega. Andrews again, one more time, losing control of the race car, 3 laps apart out of the same corner. Wansing nearly being collected, coming to 17 laps to go. Freer now to the inside of Simkowski. Here comes Justin Williams to the inside, 3 wide for first. Alex Simkowski struggling to keep that race car in a straight line. He's got Gary Evans now behind him. Justin Williams to the point at Dega. Here comes Freer. Simkowski on the outside in the number 99. Donald Ray now joining the fray. Gary Evers rounding out the top 5, and Brooklyn's Nick Pressey sitting 3 wide for the 5th position with Seth Wansing to his outside. Thomas Andrews to the inside in the Kodiak Chevrolet. Now Nick Pressey stuck on the outside following Gary Evers. Here comes Terry Freer up the inside line. Simkowski on the outside now in the mellow yellow Chevy. Williams in the 83, trying to find somewhere to go. He's behind the 46 of Freer into turn number 3. Freer now taking the high side, trying to cut off Simkowski. Here comes Williams up the inside. 16 to go this time by. Simkowski in third for now. Here comes Andrews in that number 27 Chevrolet. Donald Ray bringing up the back of the top 6, up 10 spots since the green flag flew. He's got Seth Wansing now up his inside. Ray coming down on the 9 of Wansing. Wansing having to go under the apron to save it. Andrews wide out of turn number 2. He saves it and keeps it moving. There's Freer now to the outside, to the inside of Simkowski. Simkowski's on the outside and he's losing first going into 3. Now Evers to the back end of Freer through turn 3. Simkowski on the outside. Williams finds opportunity in the middle. There's Evers to the inside of Ray for 4th. Freer leading. Williams in 2nd. Simkowski in the 3rd position. Side by side go Evers and Ray. Freer at the front just loses the race to Williams across that line by 4/100ths of a second. 14 to go next time by. These 2 Chevys have been at the front for the longest. Freer last pitting on lap 67. Williams last pitting on lap 77. Will the 10-lap difference in tires speak for the winner of this race? So much left to play for. Here's Evers now to the inside line behind Freer. Williams struggling to hang on. Freer bouncing off the yellow line. Williams sitting in 3rd. He's got competition all around him. Here comes Seth Wansing in the 9. Thomas Andrews in the 27 has something to say. Across that line, Gary Evers that time leading that race. Justin Williams in 2nd and Freer being left behind. Wansing loose in the 9, just ahead of Andrews in the 27. Hold on, Seth. Hold on, Seth. Just barely misses tagging the 94 of Nick Pressey, who survives. Evers leading this race by himself. Here comes Freer and Williams with a head full of steam. Lucky number 13 laps to go this time by. Ray in the 17 now following the 24 diligently. He's got Al Simkowski right behind him. There's Donald Ray in that 17 trying to find out what line to go with. Terry Freer sitting in 3rd right now. No draft help from Gary Evers. Now a dozen laps remain at Dega. Andrews to the inside. Pressy blinking like that traffic light, to quote D-Bucks, out in the back. Really messing with the running order. Now Evers leading this one. Williams gives up the lead on the outside. There goes Freer. Contact between the drivers. Williams going for a ride up the inside. He can't save it and makes contact. Freer now down the back, sitting in the 6th position. And the caution is out. One more time for the 14th time this evening. And we'll get the restart with 10 laps to go. Gary Evers going to be taking the lead and getting the green flag inside the final 10 laps of racing. So now we're inside of the final 10, and it's only a question of how many green-white checkers we're going to have. Gary Evers ahead of Donald Ray. Al Simkowski in the 3rd position. Patiently waiting for these drivers to come back around. Lights are out on the pace car, so we are going to go double file and restart here with 10 laps to go. Chevy's all the way down to 8th place, where you'll find John Honeybrink getting tires and fuel. Kansas City's Seth Wansing getting his fair share of damage on that Hooters Chevrolet. And Al Simkowski, a big fan of Raisin Bran, just like Donald Ray. Will it be the Raisin Bran brothers that get a win? Donald Ray in this calendar year, already 3 wins at the Talladega Superspeedway across not only iRacing, but the console platform as well. Does Ray have anything left in the bag? The silver chrome of Gary Evers flashes across the screen in that brilliant number 6 Chevrolet. Shows that shine and the talent from that cockpit. But does Evers have enough to hold off for another 10 laps? How many cautions will we see in the final 10 laps? Still, more than 20 miles of racing in this ARCS 87 race. It's been a long one, but we're almost to the end. Thanks so much for sticking with us. Big shout out to Obfuscate Moon, Hell's Ginger, Bama Trama in this chat. K Harvick Fan 429, Lurkin, Tom Gaming, Pinnell Racing, D-Bucks, Thomas Andrews, everybody who's participated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know I say a lot that we can't do this without you, but really, I mean that. Without viewership, we have nothing. So your viewership keeps us going week in and week out. And your viewership is going to love this. 10 laps to go, waiting for that green flag. Evers spins the tires a little bit, but he's racing again. Ray to his outside. Green flag is out with 10 laps to go. Wreck out of turn number 2 one more time. One car getting put into the wall there. I didn't see exactly who that was. That looked like Thomas Andrews or one car back there. Honestly, could not see. It is Josh Garrison who rejoins the race 34 laps down, and all for naught as Garrison jumps immediately to the pits, coming to 9 laps to go. Evers leading Simkowski through the tri-oval. Thomas Andrews, who said he had to lift to avoid wrecking through the tri-oval, sitting in third. He's got Terry Freer behind him in the final 9 laps at Dega. Freer now looking to the outside, following the lines of Evers on the top side of the racetrack. Donald Ray now hanging at the very back of this top 5. Seth Wansing behind him in the 9. 3 wide out of turn 2. 4 wide now out of turn 2. These drivers struggling to keep it in a straight line. Here comes Simkowski trying to get back into the top 3. 3 wide for second, coming to 8 laps to go. Evers, Andrews, Ray all along the top 3. There's Evers, who loses the race car right in front of the pack. And that's going to be another big wreck inside the last 10 laps. Al Simkowski getting caught up in that one. Donald Ray coming to this line. 8 laps now remain at Dega. And so far, so good. No yellow. Wonder what that one's all about. But Donald Ray leading undisturbed. Seth Wansing now following close behind. Thomas Andrews in third. Perhaps they just had enough of the yellow flags, but Terry Freer now severely injured there. Gary Evers coming down pit road to repair that race car. Donald Ray, Seth Wansing, your top 2. Thomas Andrews, 1 full second behind in third. Wansing now to the inside of Ray. This for the win at Talladega. Well, for the lead with 7 to go. I'm jumping way ahead of the gun. Wansing and Ray side by side. Here comes Andrews as it's a dead heat for the lead in 1. Ray now to the outside with Wansing cutting in front. Wansing blocking left, blocking right. 3 wide for the lead, headed into the first corner. Andrews to the point, using the draft, using his skill. The Kodiak Chevrolet now to the front with Seth Wansing right behind him. 6 to go this time by. Donald Ray, the 17, now following the 9, 27, 9, 17, your top 3, 6 laps to go at Dega. It's got to be a patience game now because any passes can be made in the last lap. There goes Wansing all by his lonesome, losing it again in the corner. It's now a 2-car race for the lead. Andrews to the inside. Ray trying to follow him. Snake down the back straight as these drivers come upon lap traffic, coming to 5 laps to go. Thomas Andrews in the 27 Kodiak. Patient, diligent, involved in several incidents tonight, but now leading by 1.1 seconds and expanding over Texas' Donald Ray in the 2nd spot. Seth Wansing still in 3rd, miraculously, some 15 seconds off the lead. There's Stephen Downton in the 4th position, not even moving at speed in 4th. Justin Williams still holding on to 5th. Thomas Andrews coming up on Williams, trying to put him, coming up on Evers, trying to put him a lap down, leaving just 5 cars on the lead lap. Andrews' lead expands now to 1.6 seconds, coming to 4 to go. What an incredibly long and caution-filled race it's been so far. Andrews ahead of Ray. What have they learned in these 87s? Because you better believe this won't be the last time they do this race. Maybe not at a super speedway for a while, but you know. There's Wansing in 3rd. He still finds himself 15 seconds and counting ahead of Stephen Downton in the 54. Downton, who's losing enormous amount of times over Justin Williams. Williams, who's only 3.7 seconds back, and he's closing that gap. But now Downton back on the gas. He's up 11 spots since the green flag flew, and Wansing 14 seconds behind second place. Who's that slow on the apron? Is that the 77 of Garrison? Can't be. No idea who that is that's stuck there on the inside there. But Thomas Andrews still leading by 3 seconds over Donald Ray, coming to 2 laps to go. Andrews loose out of 2. Will that race car survive? Donald Ray in the second position, just ahead of Seth Wansing. I say just ahead of Seth Wansing. It's a 13-second gap as Wansing scrapes the wall at a turn number 2, and even by himself, Wansing struggling to keep that race car moving. Just over 5 1/5 miles remaining, and that's actually going to be it right there. Looks like they're calling it. Thomas Andrews getting the checkered flag. Coming to, or was that the wrong command, coming to 2 laps to go? But timing and scoring has stopped. Thomas Andrews being declared the winner in the number 27 Kodiak Chevrolet. Those are your unofficial results in the ARCS 87. Thomas Andrews gets the win. Donald Ray sitting in the second position. And Seth Wansing getting the bronze medal. Gary Evers still coming to the line. He will finish 4th. Stephen Downton gets the 5th place finish. And there's Justin Williams to finish 6th. But Thomas Andrews getting the win in the number 27 Kodiak Chevrolet. Quick burnout for the fans there. Good on you, Tommy. He's got the gold medal tonight, and a nice burnout from the winner of ARCS 87 at Talladega. Fans at home, that's going to do it for us tonight. It's been real. It's been fun. But it hasn't been real. No, I'm lying. It's been an absolute blast. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming through. I know it's been long, but we've had fun every lap of the way. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming with us on this journey. Hell's Ginger says, SKD's laptop is about to end up under my car tonight. Seth Wansing offering his congratulations to this 27 car. And that's going to put a wrap on tonight's festivities. Tomorrow night, we race it for real. ARCS will be driving in Monday Night Lightning tomorrow night. Let's find out exactly where before I give you wrong information here. We do want you to tune in. I promise it's going to be a lot less caution-filled than the race we've just had tonight, but it's going to be just as exciting and engaging. Let's go to our Monday night schedule and have a look here. Tomorrow night, Monday Night Lightning, it's going to be round number 8, I believe, actually, from Watkins Glen International. If we are having that race, we'll stay tuned on Twitter on Rick James TV. But fans, once again, thank you so much for coming through. Thank you so much for your time, for your patience, for having so much fun with us this evening. We've learned a lot, and ARCS 87 is going to be a lot better next time around, so stay tuned for that. Until then, everybody, stay safe, take care of each other.